This video is made possible by the EA Creator Network and was captured on a work-in-progress build. What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and very excited to bring you guys our second rebuild of the Madden 26 season, and we're going to rebuild the New England Patriots. Now, I'm not usually excited to rebuild the Patriots, far from a Patriots fan. Obviously, the history of my Philadelphia Eagles and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. First Super Bowl loss was that game. First Super Bowl win was that matchup. The dynasty kind of got sick of the Brady Belichick years. Get it, you win all the time. But this is kind of like a new team. And I feel personally as a fan, like they have suffered now enough through the low years post late Bill Belichick and onward. That all right, the Patriots can kind of be good now. They can try. And that is exactly what they did this offseason. They went and got Mike Vrabel, universal football guy. Awesome. You got to build off of Christian Gonzalez in the secondary, 95 overall here in Madden. You got to build off of Drake Maye. You have your franchise quarterback. So they go, okay, we're going to go get Milton Williams, who maybe was the most dominant player in the Super Bowl last year for the Eagles against the Kansas City Chiefs. We need wide receiver help. Let's go get Stefon Diggs, who I assume he's going to be playing this season. And if he does, I'm a big fan. So I like this Patriots team. I think we have a very fun roster for a rebuild. But the biggest reason why I was ever a Patriots fan is the Patriots are my older brother's favorite team. And when he started helping me get into football, I was like, okay, I can't just pick the same team. I got to pick a different team, an annoying team. I kind of like the Eagles at that time. So I was like, okay, let's go with the Eagles. And then, a year or two later, they're in the Super Bowl. And it's always kind of been a back and forth, brotherly love back and forth. And, as I've shared on the channel in the past, he's currently battling stage 4 cancer. We're going through all the treatments and all that stuff. And, hey, I feel like maybe he can, he'll click on this rebuild because it's about the Patriots. And it'll be a cool way to kind of hang out a little bit. So in our first rebuild of the Jacksonville Jaguars, which actually I'm pretty sure will be the first rebuild you see, this will be rebuild number 2. I decided because the creative coach and coach abilities and really everything about your coach and franchise mode is like a game within a game this year. I wanted to start fresh. I think for this one, we're going to be Mike Vrabel. Wow, Mike Vrabel starts level 12, huh? Okay. I mean, it's better than level 1 if I created a new coach. Before we look at Mike Vrabel and what abilities he has, shout out, look at the names. If you know, you know. Chad Masters in particular and Griffin Murphy are the coaching staff under Mike Vrabel. Looking at his abilities, again, level 12, not really, I don't know, I wouldn't even say, are you halfway through? It's 50, yeah. So we're well on our way. Looking at our base abilities here. Very defensive-minded. Camp Counselor actually could be a nice upgrade. I'm actually going to get those right now, and we'll activate it for training camp. Just give us the best chance at, especially that last one at Tier 4 at the 5% boost to Dev Trait upgrade odds. I think we'll also, knowing Mike Vrabel's background, we will go all the way up to Tier 4 on Ground Guardians, which gives significant boost across the board to our linebackers. Then I think I'm going to go get, just for an option as we modify this and these abilities throughout the season, but I also like getting all those boosts across the board, +4 for our defensive tackles. And just a very quick reminder, if you do have a coach that has the camp counselor ability, now is when you need to apply it, obviously before your training camp. If you waited to do it and you went into training camp, you're not going to get these boosts, and then you're going to have to wait all the way to next season to get any benefit. So take a look at this roster quickly. The offense is better than you probably would assume if you're not a Patriots fan. The trade is Stefon Diggs. Fair to say that that's a wild card at this point. But if he gets on the field and he's locked in, still a dangerous playmaker. You got Pop Douglas. You have the running back room, Ramondre Stevenson. But maybe the most interesting skill position player with a question mark of a ceiling on this roster is TreVeyon Henderson. I mean, if you're playing fantasy football right now, you probably are well aware who he is. You might not even be a college football fan. You're seeing this guy be a recommended pickup for the Patriots this season. And I think there's a reason for that. I think that there's a chance he could take over that backfield. There likely will still be a committee. Stevenson brings a different style. And maybe they're going to try to replicate what was going on at Ohio State last year, like the smash and dash between Henderson and Judkins. Maybe recreate that with Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. So I think overall, like a good starting point, skill position-wise, much better than what Drake Maye had a year ago. The offensive line, you get Owenu. You got Wilson from Georgia, the rookie with a dev trait. Cole Strange is still developing. And the first-round pick of the Patriots, Will Campbell. I don't want to hear nothing about short arms. He's going to get the job done at left tackle. The Patriots have a franchise guy. I've seen all I need to see from him in his post-draft interviews. We're giving him the C right away. Look at the defense. Solid. Landry, Tavai, you got Gibbons, Spillane, Keon White. Solid starters. Maybe not the highest ceiling. Front seven, Peppers and Duggar are probably at their prime right now. Same with Carlton Davis. Barmore's solid. You get the addition of Milton Williams from the Philadelphia Eagles. If you're a Patriots fan that loves playing with the Patriots in Madden, Milton Williams is so fun. 92 strength. We got athleticism for a man that's almost 300 pounds with 83 speed, 83 acceleration. Was so good for my Philadelphia Eagles. Enjoy. But the crown jewel of defense is Christian Gonzalez. I'm so happy the Commanders got Emmanuel Forbes and not Christian Gonzalez that draft. What a get for the Patriots. 6'2", 200 pounds, superstar dev. He's a 95 overall, built in a lab, put on an island type corner, and he's going to be a special player for us. But as much as all the offense, the defense, Gonzalez is going to mean to this team, no one will be more important than Drake Maye, the second-year quarterback out of North Carolina. We got a 78-star dev. Looked impressive last year. I think everyone could universally agree that probably wasn't the best situation for a rookie quarterback to thrive in New England last year, but you saw the flashes of the talent, and from a Madden standpoint, 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 94 throw power, all of his accuracies are in the 80s. This is an absolute stud. This is a guy that we need to develop into a top 5 quarterback in the league. Let's go, Milt. Let's go, Milt. Finish him off. Oh, we get the turbo. Let's go, gold medal, Milton Williams. Oh, yeah, I forgot. There's one more weapon I wanted to give Drake Maye to start this rebuild. So, enjoy. Now, coming out of training camp, we had some good camps. We have 2 hidden dev rookies I didn't even talk about because they are kind of farther down the depth chart. One on the D-line is Josh Farmer from Florida State. And we also have Kyle Williams, who is currently probably the wild card of all the Patriots wide receivers because of where he was drafted, because of his body of work, the momentum that he gained in the offseason of the draft process. Really kind of came from oh, maybe he's a top 30 wide receiver in this draft class. Day 3 pick to man, this guy is probably going to be a lock to go in the second round. The UNLV transfer, playing out of Washington State last season, 76 overall, with that dev trait and a great mix of route running and catching for a rookie. And then we get our first look at Scary Terry in a Pats uniform. Now, I know right now, as of me recording this video, it could just be posturing between Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders about this trade demand. But let me entertain it here. If not in Madden, where can we see this potential matchup play out in front of our very eyes? And honestly, I think it might help speed this rebuild up a little bit because we go out there, Drake Maye, with Scary Terry McLaurin, Stefon Diggs. We got Kyle Williams, Demario Douglas, a solid tight end, Hunter Henry, an offensive line that's a work in progress, but we feel real good about this offense. Especially if we can get TreVeyon Henderson or Ramondre Stevenson going as a 1-2 punch. He's going to be dangerous. We got to hop in here for the first game of the Drake Maye, Stefon Diggs, Terry McLaurin era. Great matchup at home against the Vegas Raiders. Let's put up some points. We got the Raiders this week, and as someone that is doing a Raiders franchise series on the channel, go check that out. It'll be coming out very, very shortly. I want to show respect to the Raiders, but this needs to be a win for the New England Patriots. We got Gronk ringing the bell. Let's go. We got to be inspired. Third down, certainly. 3rd and 7, opening drive. We're going to go with a game plan play here. We got Stevenson, okay. Scary Terry, Stefon Diggs. Ooh, okay, I think a bigger question is why is Ramondre Stevenson, who is not my 3rd down back, out there on that play? All right, first score goes to the Patriots. Very nice. I want to get that one back, though. I want to definitely try to get a touchdown here. I won't be greedy. I don't say it has to be a touchdown to Terry McLaurin. We want to get something going. Oh, no. That's a bad mismatch, but you know what? We scared him off. Jack Gibbons on Brock Bowers is not something we're going to want to see a whole lot. But for round one, advantage Patriots defense. Yeah, I'd much rather Jones on him. Got Spillane, knows a thing or two about Brock Bowers and what this Raiders offense wants to look like. There we go. Big time, of course. Big sack fumble, Milton Williams like he did in the Super Bowl, but the Patriots can't capitalize. I mean, that's almost one of those ones like, do we want to challenge that for incomplete pass? We'll gain yardage on it, because that sets them up 3rd and 4. Oh, baby. The pressure is real. Bend don't break for the Patriots defense. That is an absolute win. I mean, it feels dangerous. You know, you think of Mike Vrabel. What is he going to bring immediately to the Patriots? It is going to be defense. I think they're going to be much improved from a year ago. What do we got here? 3rd and 3. See if we can run it. The speed of Henderson. If we can get our blocks, give him a crease, he will take a mile. Or we'll just barrel forward 5 yards. Now the red zone we have. Ooh, this better not be a running clock. It's not really that much of a red zone. We are 3rd and 10 on the 19. Let's go. Scary Terry, where you need it. Burn a timeout. 14 seconds to operate. Or we'll just get the touchdown. Okay, you're welcome. We set the sim up. We'll Scottie Pippen, let the sim be Michael Jordan. We got another 3rd down here late in the 3rd quarter, trailing. The Raiders don't want to start this season out with an L. Fans are rabid after the Scary Terry trade for what the Patriots could be this season. We need to start with at least winning the games this year that we should win. And there we go, Patriots with an insta score. Got a 3rd down here. Trailing by a field goal. What are the Raiders going to try to do? I know that when we've been able to hop in, they do not have an answer for Christian Barmore and for Milton Williams. Yeah, dude, look at the pressure. I don't care that they're not sacks. That ball is hitting the turf, be it a fumble or an incompletion. And those just keep stacking those wins. And there we go. Sealed off with a knee. Drake Maye with his shiny new toys at receiver. Start the year 1-0. 28-25 win at home against the Raiders. So we get off to a nice start. We have 4 wins against 4 teams we should beat. We have 2 losses against, as you can see, the top 2 against the Bills. Teams that we'd probably see in the playoffs. So I don't want to say I'm disappointed with a 4-2 start. It's exactly what we need to do. But there is still some valid fraudulent concerns about this Patriots team. Now, for our free agents, there's a reason why Scary Terry's available. There's a reason why we made that trade at the very beginning, because he wants a new contract. Now, I don't love the fact that there's 0 re-sign interest, but we have much bigger problems than his interest. Our salary cap is not great. We are $26 million in the red. Still plenty of time, especially once the offseason starts, to make this work. But who's getting all this money on this Patriots team? Looking at potential savings, like we can move off of Kendrick Bourne at some point. But like there's no instantly solve our salary cap type contract to get rid of. Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, Michael Wenu, Ramondre Stevenson. Like that is ridiculous money to be giving to Harold Landry. Kyle Duggar's on big bucks. Spillane's on big bucks. Whew. Okay, we'll figure it out, but we're going to have to wait till the offseason. Oh, here we go. Nice win here for Mike Vrabel in a game over his former team. 21-13 Patriots over the Titans, moving to 5-2 on the year. As we conclude year number 1, the Patriots go 10-7, but maybe more impressively, look at our rankings. Top 10 offense, top 10 passing offense, a top 5 rushing offense, a top 5 overall defense, with both our passing yard defense and rushing yard defense being top 5. At the end of year number 1, the Patriots go 10-7. Our 10 wins were games that we probably should win. Our 7 losses were legit losses to playoff caliber teams. We didn't get upset all year. We played to our level, and that got us to 10-7, which I think is somewhat reasonable. But look at our rankings. We have the number 10 overall offense, the number 5 overall defense. We're top 5 defensively against pass and run. We are top 10 throwing the football, top 5 running the football. Pretty scary turnaround in year 1 of Mike Vrabel back in New England. Take a look at Drake Maye, top 10 in passing yards as well as touchdowns. Thought maybe there was an outside chance he'd play like an MVP. He played very good. Very good bounce back year from a year that, I mean, his rookie year wasn't bad, but this is certainly a standing progression for Drake Maye from year 1 to year 2 in his sophomore campaign. We got 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns from Ramondre Stevenson. Definitely could have utilized this 1-2 punch a little bit more, but when you have Terry McLaurin and Stefon Diggs, you want to get them the football. 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns for Scary Terry. Almost 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns for Stefon Diggs. 7-6 for Demario Douglas. Hunter Henry was also very productive. Mike Vrabel got these guys playing. One of the most productive defenses in the league, led by Robert Spillane, 98 tackles. We got 17.5 sacks from Harold Landry. Okay, 15.5 from Milton Williams. So you were getting immediate return on investment from the 2 big defensive gets as far as pass rush is concerned from last year's free agency class. Keon White with 9.5 sacks, 7 from Christian Barmore, a disruptive front, and we got 3 picks from Carlton Davis. So all these newcomers across the board, pretty good. Jayden Daniels and Drake Maye are going to be forever connected. And I think it is kind of interesting in one side. We saw what Drake Maye got to do with a year of Scary Terry and was probably in line statistically where Jayden Daniels was as a rookie. But I think it's also very impressive that Jayden Daniels down Scary Terry had that good of a season still. I think it's an absolute travesty that Mike Vrabel was only coming in 4th in Coach of the Year voting. He should have ran away with the award. Fortunately, no award winners for the Patriots. This is very much a collective team effort. So let's see what he can do on the road against the Houston Texans in the wildcard round. NRG Stadium. I'm not going to say it's surprising that the Texans are in the playoffs, but they are a team that, what is their offensive line going to look like? I think that's a matchup that we need to win. We saw our pass rush. We saw the production of Harold Landry and Milton Williams. And that's how you beat a talented Texans team, is you attack what has to be considered on paper one of the weakest offensive lines in the NFL. So let's see here. Low scoring game. Got to remember our rankings. We are very good offensively and defensively. Houston's first points come off a safety. They got 2 safeties. Not like this. There we go. Come on, defense. Oh, we're going to overtime. 14-14. Come on. Red zone. Let's go. Touchdown New England. Oh, my God. We're trading tuds. 3rd down. We got to earn it. Multiple 3rd downs. We nail the field goal and win. I'm still shocked that they had 4 points. 2 safeties for the Texans. But at the end, the Patriots just had a little bit more magic. And we win on the road and get the first win of the Vrabel Patriots era. Drake Maye played well. 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks on the day. TreVeyon Henderson with a rushing touchdown. We got Scary Terry, 73 yards and a touchdown. Stefon Diggs, little bit of a revenge game. I didn't really think they ended on bad blood there with his time in Houston, but against his former team, certainly shows out. And on the defensive side of the ball, shout out Harold Landry, shout out Mr. Keon White. How did they got Ed Oliver? When did that happen? This whole rebuild's eerily going the same way that our Jags rebuild did. We made the playoffs ahead of schedule. This rebuild, I was expecting maybe a little bit more because we made the trade to get Scary Terry. But we won our first playoff game, and then we ran into the Ravens, who look like an absolute buzzsaw. And here's how we see how legit this team is. It is not a foregone conclusion that I'm going to be able to figure out the salary cap, and we're going to be able to re-sign Terry McLaurin. There is a chance that I gave up a 2nd and 3rd round pick for a 1-year attempt to win a Super Bowl. We got the Ravens running out here. It's going to be a tough game, man. I think defensively we played well enough that on paper we should be able to contain Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in this rushing attack. 7-7 ball game. Low scoring first half. Come on. 3rd and 1. Let's go. And we got sacked on 3rd and 1. That can't happen. Just feels like we're not getting enough big plays. You gotta have long drives or big plays. One of the two. Keep them off the field. We're going to settle for a field goal, make it a touchdown game in the 4th. That is very cowardly play calling. You have got to go touchdown there or bust. There's just no sense of urgency, Vrabel. Come on. No, you've been out of the league for a little bit. But if you want to upset the Ravens, 16-2 on the road, you can't be settling for a field goal there. Damn it. It's always going to be a tough game. And now, even tougher, we got to figure out how we can re-sign Terry McLaurin. Retirement worth noting, too. Morgan Moses, starting lineman for us. We're going to need to find a replacement at tackle. Now, as far as depth traits go, we had 4 rookies on the offensive side of the ball with hidden devs. Will Campbell, Wilson, Henderson, and Kyle Williams, all with star devs. No other dev traits up or down. I thought there was an outside shot that we could get Drake Maye back up to a superstar dev, which I think he should be anyways by default. We got some dev traits on the defensive side of the ball. Josh Farmer was a hidden dev rookie. He is a star dev. Milton Williams breaks out, gets a superstar dev. Same with Harold Landry. Our top 2 players on the pass rush played out of their minds this season. Hopefully, that is going to continue. This was a time in our Jags rebuild that I actually decided to fire one of our coordinators because levels are so important. I had a theory, it's like, well, maybe there's going to be free agent coaches that are like level 20, level 30, that have good abilities. That is the case, but I think here with the Patriots, because we got the legendary Chad Masters and Griffin Murphy, let's kind of go with a homegrown coaching staff here under Mike Vrabel. Now that we're at season end, I was really good with our locked-in abilities, but let's get some upgrades here just to give us more variety next season. So I do want to max out Trench Goblins. I like the abilities that just straight up give you like +4 bonuses, the things that are clear as day. There's no weird wording. There's no, does that slightly versus significant chance. Like, what does that actually mean? But I think we definitely want to upgrade that. We definitely want to upgrade the corner upgrade to get +4 to man, +4 to zone coverage, and give our defense a chance to be an even better next year and improve upon our top 5 rating. Okay, it's do or die time for Scary Terry. We're going to have to... I'm going to accept... No, we got to do right by him. We're going to decline the 5th-year option. And for Scary Terry, we need to find out a way to free up, let's get $5 million bucks somewhere. So I'm thinking we could probably get a little cheaper at backup quarterback. We could save a couple million moving on from Antonio Gibson as our RB3. And we'll try getting rid of Kendrick Bourne here. Garrett Bradbury's also too expensive of a depth now that we have the emergence of Jared Wilson at center. Same thing goes for Anthony Jennings. Someone like Braden Swinson can step up into that depth role. So we're going to give him what he wants. The rumor is he wants DK Metcalf money. So on average, DK Metcalf's deal is $33 million a year. I'm going to do that with the kicker that 2028 is going to be probably pretty rough. Oh, you sorry son of a... Congratulations. You're on the tag. Now, I'm not going to spend any of this money because if I'm making the trade for Scary Terry McLaurin, and the idea is like he wants to trade because he didn't get the money from the Commanders, me tagging with the Patriots seems kind of like a cop-out because he didn't absolve his issue of getting that long-term money. So what I'm going to do is we're going to add a little storyline to the rebuild. The earliest you can offer a contract to a player next season, I think it's week 3, maybe week 2 this year, but I think it's week 3. He's going to hold out. I'm going to have him hold out until he gets that contract week 3. So the first 2 games of the regular season next year are going to be Scary Terry list because we couldn't strike a contract extension. So because we penny pitched in free agency, we're going to have to fill some needs here in the draft. I would say right tackle is a top need. Left guard is a top need. We're pretty good overall defensively. I think the next 2 positions would be getting younger at safety and maybe finding a successor to Hunter Henry at tight end. But I think offensive line's not going to be a sexy draft picks here. We're going to have to get some dudes up front. So for the tackles, it's not a particularly great tackle class. I think realistically, we have Gonzalez, Feliciano, and I scouted Will Bishop just because he was the last first-round tackle that's available. They're going to need these guys to fall to us. Neither one looks like elite. We got C pass block, potentially B here on Gonzalez. A run block, B run block. So like those guys are probably low 70s if I had to kind of strike a guess. Got some good guards though. Andrew Downing, the top projected guard, is a top 5 talent. And Taylor on the other side, just the top projected guard, is a top 5 talent. So I don't know if they're studs or this is a weak class. But that is good information to know because those guys absolutely will be available at our pick in the late first round. Now for our focus counter, we got some D tackles here. My idea was for our front three. You know, we get a little bit more value on that defensive front. We got, there's some guys for sure. As far as like James Moreland here, could potentially slip into the second round. He's a legit first-round talent. We have down here Roman Shirley, a nose tackle with a legit first-round grade. Same thing goes for Conrad Reed. So there is a lot of depth there for us to get some D-line help later on. But we're building the trenches in this draft. Now, again, under the assumption that this rebuild's coming out number 2 after our Jags rebuild, we drafted so well in the Jags rebuild. Like, first year, we got an X-Factor corner without having a first-round pick. Second year, we got 2 superstars. And as you can see, I assume work in progress build. I don't think this would be by design. Like, I can't really see for sure what's going on here. But we have Bishop on the offensive line at tackle. Both the top 5. Wow. Both guards went off the board. Okay. Wish I could kind of see what's going on here. But I think we just grabbed the tackle. It's not great value, but B run block, C pass block, double A's awareness, impact blocking, elite agility, elite acceleration. Okay, I'm a fan of this. First place bench press, the pro day, second at the combine. All right. If he was second, third round grade and didn't have good athletic traits, I probably wouldn't make that pick. But he's an outstanding athlete, one of the best athletes on the O-line in the class. Now, let's see what we're getting here in Will Bishop. No. Okay, he needs to have a depth trait. 55 in true value. Just after I gassed up how well we drafted in the Jags rebuild. 55 true value at 27. But we do get the depth trait. Okay, we can work with that. Will Campbell on one side. Will Bishop on the other. So we didn't have a second round pick. We go to the third round. The bad news, we miss out on all those D tackles. The good news is that the further you go down this list, look, we have Joel Hughes, first, second round tackle, 6'3", 356. We have Bonner, first, second round. We have Baxter, first, second round. Just nose tackles growing on trees. And you think I'm going to be silly if I don't draft. I'm going to add 1,000 pounds worth of D-line in this draft. But the clock's ticking. I'm not going to be cute. I'm getting all these guys. We're going to start Joel Hughes. What do you want to tell me? 46 in true value at 91 with a depth trait. We're going to get Ryan Bonner from Penn State. Come on, depth trait. 29th in true value at 112. No depth trait. And the point of drafting it, one is it fits our team schematically. Secondly, trade value. If all these guys end up being legit first-round talents, hey, you need a nose tackle, call up the Patriots. Let's grab the last one here in Dalvin Baxter from Miami. All nose tackles. No breaks. Because we had to cut Gibson, I want to add some speed. We got the fastest remaining running back on the board. And we'll leave in even the miss picks. Not great. So unfortunately, after the D-tackle means, my board did get shot. Was able to find a 70 overall 6th-round pick as we added some nice depth across the board. But as far as the big picks, Baxter 75, Bonner 75, Hughes 74 with a depth trait. And we got Will Bishop, who was a projected second, third-round talent, scouted as. And we said, you know what? I'm still going to get him in the first round. 74 depth trait lineman. Let's go. Now, I was curious. There we go. 81 and 80 were the 2 guards that I absolutely would have drafted. To go 23, 24. That would have been sick. Have yet to see, though, Jags rebuild. So that was 3 years. This is now 4 drafts to see like one of those crazy 85, 86 generational guys. I've seen plenty of 80s, but not that 1%. To start the regular season here, number 2, Scary Terry has not reported to the facilities as he awaits a contract extension. So at the earliest convenience, we will do that. We will offer him a very fair contract, but we're going to be severely undermanned until that gets rectified. So in our 2 games without Scary Terry, 0-2 start for the New England Patriots. Things do not get any easier with the Kansas City Chiefs coming to town. But let's get Scary Terry back out on the field. It took 4 years, not 3, $150 million. But Scary Terry's in. He also had to pay Christian Gonzalez pretty much whatever he wants, blank check area. And we got him locked in for 6 seasons. Outside of that for contracts, I think we got some budget things we're going to have to figure out. Salary wise, not unreasonable demands, but our salary cap is not in a great spot. So I think in the case of a Wenu who's looking for around 18, 19 mil a year, someone like Keon White, someone like Pop Douglas, we got to save some money somewhere, and I think it's going to come at these guys' expense. So the interview number 2, not as good as year 1, but we missed Scary Terry for the first 2 games of the regular season. We finished 9-8. If he's out there, maybe we win one of our 2 L's, and we finish 10-7, which is the same record as a year ago. Offensively, defensively, we're a solid team. The number 3 passing yards in the NFL. But I think because of the slip-up, because of the slow start, we get the reward of taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in the wild card round. Now, in Madden 25, these guys were the final boss. They were the toughest out any single time you had them in a matchup, especially as an out-of-division team in the playoffs. Now, Madden 26, maybe it's going to be a different tune, or maybe they're going to be unbeatable. I'm interested to see how this one plays out. But taking a look at our team, Drake Maye was 3rd in the league in passing yards, 11th with 30 touchdowns, so it's a good year. Again, not really breaking through to playing like a true MVP, but he's playing well. 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns for TreVeyon Henderson. Drake Maye also ran for 6 touchdowns, so we're getting some nice dual threat ability. The skill set suggests, I mean, he also has 90 speed, so that actually ends up being 36 total touchdowns. Around 4,500 total yards. I can get down with that. We got 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns for Scary Terry after missing 2 games, just under 1,000 for Stefon Diggs, Hunter Henry, and Kyle Williams with respectable seasons. Defensively, Spillane leads the team in tackles. We get 11.5 sacks from Milton Williams, 10 from Braden Swinson, having a little bit of a breakout campaign, 7 sacks from Harold Landry, regressing quite a bit from last year, but maybe regressing back down to his mean. That's still a solid year. If he didn't have 17.5 sacks last year, I would expect getting a return like this. Very justifiable for where he's at in his career. Like seeing Josh Farmer with 4.5 sacks. And I will say, though, for the talent we have in that secondary, led by Christian Gonzalez, definitely want to see more picks. Drake Maye comes in number 9, MVP voting. That's another year where not a single Patriot wins an award. So here we go in the wild card round, a snow game on the road at Arrowhead. Oh boy, we got hitting the drum. Tony Gonzalez. Jamar Charles, and I'm not sure who the other guy is. I mean, that's sick. I think that's cool. Cool addition to the game. But hopefully, that is where the coolness ends for Kansas City here today. Patriots score first, up 10-0. Come on, boys. Shock the world. We got 1 playoff win last year. Let's keep that pace. Let's build off of that. And I'm not going to play. I don't want anything to influence my first game with the Chiefs in the playoffs. Because if you know anything about last year's Madden and all of our rebuilds, anytime you saw the Chiefs, pretty much start your draft prep. Start doing mock drafts, you know? But look at this! The Patriots on the road topple the Chiefs. And I know that's something that a lot of people that are checking out Madden 26 for the first time are going to be very happy to see from a sim standpoint. The Chiefs are beatable without having like a 99 super team. For tail of the tape, that's all you got to see right there. On the road, Drake Maye goes toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. Ravens, okay, 11-6, number 1 rush offense, top 3 defense. Passing yards pretty bad. Maybe that'll be, I don't know, this is going to be very tough. I do not have a great track record against the Ravens in the sim here at Madden 26 so far. They were trouble in the Jags rebuild. They sent us packing last year. Now, because this is a rematch, I'm going to give myself 1 chance to hop in. At some point, be it a 3rd down, be it a red zone, we'll see if we can get something going to Scary Terry. But for the most part, it is going to have to be 90% our team's will, determination, play style. That's got to take down this Baltimore Ravens team. And not great. Haven't had much of the football here in the first half. We go to the red zone and get a 4th and 24 situation. Okay, here's a perfect time to come in. Trying to give us a pulse. 1st and goal from the 3. We are going to throw it because I will say in my experience in Madden 26, very similar to college football 26, running the ball in short yardage is certainly not fun. And by not fun, I mean very challenging, and I'd rather just throw it to the tight end. Get Drake Maye in rhythm, get him a passing touchdown, and give this team some spark going into the second half. Baltimore scores the first touchdown, And it's 14 straight points for the Ravens here in the second half. We respond with a touchdown of our own. Let's see what we could do on a 4th and 25. If we can make this, we deserve to keep this game competitive. Scary Terry, top of the screen. Stefon Diggs, Kyle Williams in the slot. Come on, Terry. Come on, Terry, throw. Oh, we got Diggs. Stefon Diggs. Double coverage on Scary Terry. You forget about the veteran and Diggs. Just gets right into the soft spot of the defense. We get a chance. Touchdown, 2-point conversion. Minute 5. Come on. That's a tough assignment on the road. Well, we got to go back to the drawing board. We know what needs to be done, though. For us to get a Super Bowl, as it stands right now, we got to figure out how to beat the Baltimore Ravens. We don't have to deal with a divisional rival winning a Super Bowl before us, as the Bucs take down the Buffalo Bills with a Baker Mayfield Super Bowl MVP performance. But a big loss for the Patriots as Stefon Diggs retires after 12 very impressive years in the NFL. Uh-oh. As we look at our team, Kyle Williams needs to step up, but I wonder, with the money that we may have freed up with Stefon Diggs retiring, if that means... Who's this? Who do we got here? Maybe Pop Douglas. We got Nate Durbin at wideout. He actually looks kind of sick. Let's just keep... Who is this guy, and how did he end up on my team? Okay, I mean, we got Pop Douglas as well. We got to figure that out. As far as dev traits, Bishop, our tackle, was a hidden dev. He is just a star. No other dev traits up or down. Wasn't really expecting. Maybe TreVeyon Henderson could have been. But like all of our guys, it's kind of like that Hall of Fame Hall of really good. We had a really good season, but maybe not one that I should expect a crazy dev trait progression in. On the defensive side of the ball, yeah, we got Hughes, who was our only dev trait player from last year's draft class, as a star. Milton Williams and Christian Gonzalez maintain their star devs, but no one else goes up a dev trade. We're going to shake things up here. We're going to get rid of the DC and see if we can get a DC that has much higher levels. I don't know if that's going to be reality or not, but it would be nice if there is. So we got level 11. Oh, no. Not a great pool. I guess we'll try Ortega out. So with Stefon Diggs retiring, we do have pretty good salary cap, at least enough now to offer Pop Douglas an extension, and he will start along Kyle Williams and Scary Terry. And I think with our salary cap, we could probably offer Keon White, Mike Owenu, Mapu, even Hunter Henry, kind of sweat-free. But I don't know, and I'm not sold on our team to know that we're going to win a Super Bowl next year. And we are going to have to decline the 5th-year option for Drake Maye and pay Drake Maye. So we need as much money as possible. And I think Keon White, Owenu in particular, I can probably replace him in a draft. Feel good about our wide receivers, even with the retirement of Stefon Diggs. Interesting names on the open market, Zay Flowers and Jamison Williams, but I think we're good. Really actually hoping for a nice tight end role to potentially upgrade over Hunter Henry here so we don't have to rely on the draft. But, I mean, you get the Darnell Washington experiment. See if he can, you know, put him together as a tight end. But, I mean, he's looking for the same amount of money that Hunter Henry was. I'm not going to be able to draft replacements for all these guys. So what do we got? What's the tiebreaker? We need an edge rush. We got Keon White there. Yeah, let's see, again, not an overly I love it type market, which stinks. And then you got to look at guard to replace Mike Owenu, who's the best available guard on the open market outside of Tyler Smith, who has zero interest in joining the team. So I think we're in a, you know, let's offer Washington here. Don't love that contract, but there's just no way, I don't think, I'm going to be able to get a starting tight end, starting edge rusher, starting guard with our first 3 picks. Might be able to do 2 or 3. It'd have to be a perfect RNG draft class to get 3 of 3. So let's help our odds a little bit. Sign Darnell Washington, and now we just got to find a guard and edge rusher. So as you look at the draft prospects, we know we need a guard. We know we need a pass rush. It's got to be a lot easier, I think, to find a guard than it is pass rush. Had a couple players fully scouted. Wasn't fully committed to edge. It was just one of our scouts. But I did fully scout Tim Benford, who would be the best chance as the 19th rated prospect to potentially fall to our range, or at least a range that we feel comfortable trading up with. And he looks solid. Like, that's something we may need to consider. It's all about where he is going to go. Outside of that, he didn't really find any true gems. Overton down here is a third, fourth rounder. So, I mean, maybe that'll be a fallback plan in case we can't find a trade partner here early. If we want to look at first rounders at guard, we have Jimmy Carr here, who's a legit round 1 talent and absolutely should be available in the 20s. Or we have Cam Westerman, and that is, in 2 drafts, our third top 5 guard scouted. I don't really know what's going on. I'm looking at the final mock draft, and with us picking way, and now things can change. Mock draft is not set in stone, as we found out kind of harshly at times. Going back to last year's game, we're at pick 25, and we have the pick of our litter. Jeremy Carr, one of the 3, I would say. We have the 2 guards, top 5 guard, the round 1 guard, and the round 1 edge rusher. He's the first one of those that goes off the board at pick 30. So I'm thinking here, 25 we go pass rush, and then if that top 5 talent guard slips into the second round, I think we find out a way to get that number 1 pick of the second round. So let's see if we can trust the mock draft. Pick 25. Oh, we can. He's still there. Tim Benford. A finesse move, D power move, C tackle. Ran a 4.54 elite acceleration. 3-cone drill, 20-yard shuttle. Looking good. And if you don't really know why I'm looking at that, I will have a draft tips and tricks video dropping at some point that will help you draft like myself. And I say all that, and if he ends up being like a normal dev, not a great sell job on how well that, my tips and tricks will help you and assist you in drafting here in Madden 26 franchise mode. But let's see. Very surprised that the number 19 player that is a legitimate first rounder fell 6 spots. Maybe there's a reason. I don't know. Ends up being number 15 in true value. Getting him at 25. I guess if he has a normal dev, that could, but that's not the case at all. Hidden dev trait, great athleticism. There's our Keon White replacement. As the Saints are on the clock with the first pick of the second round, Cam Westerman, a top 5 talent in the draft, is still on the board. We got to go get him. So I threw in that weird Durbin guy, the dev trait 77 player. Yeah, I mean, surplus. And if you kind of see faintly, wide receiver is one of the top 5 needs for the Saints, as well as our second round pick and a 4th round pick to move up to get the number 1 pick of the second round. I mean, that Durbin guy was 24.77 star def. Like, if that was their second round pick this year, we're probably commenting that, wow, the Saints actually got an absolute stud. But for us, surplus requirement, and to get a proven top 5 talent at a big position that we need a day 1 starter. Westerman is gigantic, 6'6", 340 pounds at Notre Dame, A run block, B pass block, B awareness, 45 reps on the bench press. This guy is Larry Allen 2.0. He is number 4 in true value, getting him at pick 33 with the dev trait and 97 strength. I'm not trying to cheese. I'm literally just taking the draft board and knowledge that we have from our scouting staff. We have a first, second round talent corner, Zaire Long, out of Colorado, one of Coach Prime's kids. Okay. Thanks. 44 in true value, 153 with a dev trait. And lastly, here in the 6th round, scouting, just from having a regional scout focus on edge rush, we have Calvin Overton from Texas, who's a 3rd, 4th round talent. Athletically speaking, first place at the combine, 4.65, which is not crazy, but first in the 40, first in the 3-cone, first in the 20-yard shuttle. I probably would have drafted this guy anyways without any scouting done. He ends up being 105 in true value at 185. Pick selection and a dev trade, 4 straight devs. I am drafting out of my mind here for these first 2 rebuilds. I'll be honest, I can't even take that much credit. Overton and Long were just like, I just so happened to have scouting at those positions and we found studs. Overton 69 with a dev trait, Long 74 with a dev trait. We get Benford at pick 25 in the first round, 76 with a dev trait, but the steal of the draft, Cam Westerman, 80 overall, absolute stud out of Notre Dame. Let's go, man. Looking around the rest of the NFL, Brandon Smith, a wide receiver that went pick 2, is the highest overall player in the class, 82, going to the Jets. We have Villarreal, tight end, going second pick of the second round as an 81. But I would say, in my experience, limited scope, I've only done, this is my 7th or 8th draft total. Feels like there's a lot more 80-plus rated players in the generated draft classes here in Madden 26 than there was in Madden 25. A huge element of franchise mode in Madden 26 is going to be the game within the game of leveling up your coach and knowing which abilities you should have active and which abilities are worth upgrading and finding out. I do have 3 videos breaking down the 3 archetypes that you can go for coach, offensive, defensive, and talent developer, and kind of their meta builds. But, it's something as far as it's not like we're forgetting to talk about Mike Vrabel. We're just at a spot where he's a defensive coach, which in my opinion is my least favorite of the 3. There's just nothing really worth upgrading. I think we have kind of the meta as it relates right now. I think level 33 will be the next one when we get Edge Wizards, which tier 1, 2, 3, and 4 will give us +4 tackle, awareness, power move, and +4 finesse move for our edge rushers. That is going to be a very good ability. But until we get to that point, we'll just keep rocking our upgraded ones we have right now. From training camp, first round pick, Tim Benford. I am tempted to put that into the scheme fit, but we need him just to be all-in speed rusher. We need to get back to having a lethal pass rush, double-digit sack getters. Last year was a regressive season, weren't getting the production that we wanted, so Benford, with 3 skill points earned in training camp, he's ready to be a dog and be in that Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation. Let's get our first award winner of the rebuild right here, Benford, Defensive Rookie of the Year. You know who else killed it? Drake Maye getting 3 skill points. That is going to take him up to a 91 overall, as we likely are right on the cusp of having to give him the biggest contract in NFL history to a quarterback. And in doing so, I'd love to get, let's get that Super Bowl here, all right? You are a 93 overall. Yeah, you haven't got up superstar to ever, X Factor, or anything like that, but their skill set. The weapons you have. You still have Scary Terry. I got you a 6'8" machine at tight end in Darnell Washington. Let's beat the Ravens. Let's not lose to the Ravens. From a starting lineup perspective, big changes going into year 3. No more Stefon Diggs, so Pop Douglas is going to have to step up. We got Darnell Washington coming over from the Steelers to start at tight end, and the big guard Westerman's already at 82 overall as he begins his rookie season. Defensively, Josh Farmer's going to get a chance to play on the outside. Benford comes in with all the hype in the world to potentially challenge for a Defensive Rookie of the Year type season. We add depth in Long, who was maybe the steal and or value pick of the draft class. I would like to see, though, I feel like overall our pass rush numbers have been solid. Our passing numbers have been good. Our rushing numbers have been good. Our picks, especially for a secondary that has Christian Gonzalez in it, you can't necessarily be-all, end-all measure interceptions as whether or not your secondary is playing well or not, but it'd be nice to get some turnovers there. A very nice 2-0 start here from the Patriots. Big-time win against the Dolphins, so we get a very quick turnaround to see them a second time. This time in their backyard at Hard Rock Stadium. We get a win over the Broncos, who are absolutely a playoff-caliber team. Now we're going to get ahead this early. The earliest point that we can negotiate with Drake Maye, Week 3, 6-year, $355 million. We got him. Other starters looking for pay. Gibbons. Feel like I could replace that. Same with Spillane at 31. The regression is definitely noticeably not as harsh as it was a year ago, but these guys still are at their ceilings looking for 1- and 2-year deals. I think maybe someone like Kyle Duggar, because we don't have an automatic replacement on the roster there without moving some pieces around. We'll bring him back. Polk, Landry has definitely exceeded expectations. You know what? I'll offer him this deal. 1 year, 12.5. Good. I didn't really like the idea of having to go back-to-back drafts of having to find an edge rusher. Now, we did draft, obviously, a late developmental guy with a dev trade, but he wouldn't be ready to start for us, the way that Landry would be next season. I think Peppers, no interest being there. I'm not overly in a hurry to give that. And I think Carlton Davis, I think we let him test just because I like to see the development of Zaire Long. Dev trade corner from the draft class with a 76 overall. You're going to imagine that at some degree Davis will regress this year, so maybe down to an 83, 82, somewhere in that range. I don't think the gap's going to be that gigantic. Also not an unreasonable contract. $13.5 million bucks. But we'll see. I think we let this one ride. We'll see. If he earns a contract extension, we'll see if he gets 3 picks or more. I'll re-sign him. Very reasonable, but for the level of this and what proven this defense has got interception-wise, 3 picks is a lot and not automatic. Week 3, we sweep the regular season against the Dolphins, and Drake Maye gets an Offensive Player of the Week performance. 4 touchdowns on the day, with Spillane getting defense. A clean sweep for the Patriots here in week number 3. Now, a win against the Titans that brings us to 5-0 to start year 3. The man that we just said, you know what? He's earned a contract extension, even at the age and price point. Harold Landry rewards us with a 4-sack performance. Oddly enough, we are in year 3 of this rebuild. We have our first breakout now. So I don't know if across the board they're maybe a little more tricky to spawn in Madden 26 franchise mode. Didn't recall getting a lot of opportunities either when we did the Jags rebuild. But Kyle Williams, you know, I do feel like, you know, go with the solid goal. Like, you have a good game. He's looking to make the jump from star up to a superstar dev. 4 catches, 100 yards to get superstar is super reasonable. And he has a chance against a team that's in the history of this rebuild, Scary Terry's former team, the Washington Commanders. Led by Jaden Daniels on the road. I'm sure it's going to be a very hostile environment for Terry McLaurin. But the reality is, I mean, if he doesn't have a good game, that must mean Kyle Williams did. And we have a superstar wide receiver that we can add to the room. So a great opening drive here from the Patriots, who has stayed at 8-2. It's a good game. 8-2 Patriots, 6-4 Commanders. Both offenses have been playing very well. What we need to see is 4 catches, 100 yards for Kyle Williams. Firstly, I will sacrifice the win for another superstar dev trait player, especially because we're 8-2. We can lose a lot, take an L, especially on the road against an out-of-conference opponent. I don't want to come off overly defeatist. We are kind of smashing them here. I'm going to come in at 2nd and 3. I have no idea where Kyle Williams is at for his goal, but I'll tell you right now, I'm going to try to target him as much as I can. As we come out, he's not even on the, yes, no, he's not. Okay, not even on the field right now. Let's see if we can get Scary Terry. Touchdown, We'll put a nozzle on that. Throw power, Drake. Okay, Kyle Williams is out here. Terry McLaurin. Let's go, Scary Terry. Throws a stiff arm, fights his way in the end zone, and gets one over on his former team. Salutes the fans. There you go. Scary Terry. Drake Maye. It's not the Kyle Williams focus that we need actually right there, but that was very fitting. And it's rattled the Commanders. They give up a bunch more points, and it ends up being a dominating performance on the road, 49-21, with all eyes on Kyle Williams. 4 catches, 100 yards, which is a solid game. We had 5 touchdowns on the day. We didn't need touchdowns. We need yards. Kyle Williams, 4 catches. That is a missed opportunity. Why is Darnell Washington getting this? So that was rather unfortunate that things did not play out for Kyle Williams, but maybe, I was going to say maybe because even if we won, maybe we'll still get the sympathy. Here's 1,000 XP. We don't even get that. Now we can finally have an update around Mike Vrabel and his coach abilities. We got the ability we've been hoping for, Edge Wizards, which is very good for our pass rushers, especially, first round pick, especially Harold Landry. Those guys are playing well this year. Let's make them play even better. Let's go ahead. Got a nice war chest, over 600 coach credits. And we will make Edge Wizards. Let's go all the way up to tier 4, and we'll make that an active ability. Late season, we're 11-4, and I have just got to acknowledge one of 2 things. 1, Carlton Davis got his 3rd pick of the year, called up my bluff, so I'm going to offer him a contract. But Spillane, the veteran linebacker, I know we need to, it's a rebuilt franchise. You got to pay attention to the overall. He's likely going to hit with some pretty big regression. But week 16, he was Defensive Player of the Week. And in that game we had against the Commanders, he was Defensive Player of the Week with a sack and 2 picks. We got to keep him. So let's come in here. We have Carlton Davis looking for a 1-year deal. I agree. We'll round that up. 1 year, $14 million. Sorry for the delay. Thanks on getting the 3 picks. And then we're going to go to Robert Spillane, he just wants to stay in the locker room with the boys. 2-year deal, $12.8 million, playing out of his mind this year. Vrabel got him, they're buddies. They got this. So year 3 comes to a close, and the New England Patriots are 12-5, our best record of the rebuild, with an offense that was very good. Number 2 overall, with great passing, very good rushing, and our defense was middle of the mall, probably underperformed, all things considered, but they weren't like a liability, and they're just going to get hot for the playoffs. We end up being the 2 seed in the conference, but we do get our first divisional title of the rebuild coming here in year 3. Statistically, Drake Maye said, okay, let's try to play like an MVP now. Second in yards, second in touchdowns, 4,100 yards, 41 touchdowns to 6 picks. We had 1,200 yards rushing and 11 touchdowns for TreVeyon Henderson, but even Drake Maye giving us another 5 rushing touchdowns. He might be the MVP, honestly, with that type of stat line. Scary Terry, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Kyle Williams with a breakout. Needed him with Stefon Diggs' retirement, and look what he gave us, 950 yards, but 14 touchdowns. Everything was good outside the missed upgrade opportunity there against the Commanders. Pop Douglas was solid. Darnell Washington was very good as well. And the league got a problem that we got a 6'7". He figured it out as a receiver. He's not just a glorified extra tackle. Robert Spillane, this is why we gave him his contract extension. 105 yards, a TFL, 6.5 sacks, and 3 picks, making plays all over the field. For our pass rush, Harold Landry is very good in Madden 26 in this scheme. 17.5 sacks. Benford, the rookie, with 14.5 sacks. 11.5 for Swinson. 7 for Milton Williams, with that 6.5 from Spillane, with Davis and Gonzo there with the picks. I mean, I guess kind of better for those guys individually, but as a team, I feel like we still need more interceptions. Oh, come on. This was Drake Maye's year. And I was like, Drake Maye, 46 touchdowns. Let's see you beat that, Joe Burrow. Okay, yeah, he got 51 through the air and 4 on the ground. Okay, we lost. Congrats on the year. But at least we get our first award winner of the rebuild, with Tim Bedford being the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Called his shot in the preseason and ended up being exceptional. 14.5 sacks. And if that's only the beginning, look out the rest of the league. Somehow the Browns were kind of good. They went 13-4. So we have no first round bye. We got to run the gauntlet here, and we start in the wild card round against the 9-8 Raiders. These are what? The Tom Brady Vegas Raiders now, right? I wonder if there'd be something in this matchup. Tom Brady going against, like, the Patriots' final kind of true successor. That looks like he's going to pass the smell test. Let's go, Gronk. Motivate the fellas. This can't be enough. 9-8. The Raiders, like, they just barely finished above 500. They're the sympathy team to make the playoffs. We have a guy that, in any other year would have ran away with the MVP award at quarterback here in Drake Maye. He's upset. We have the defending Defensive Rookie of the Year. This kind of seems like a no-brainer. 21. Ooh, insta score, though, for the Raiders to start the 4th quarter. This game is coming down to the wire. No points. How did we get no points there? Too close for comfort. Not impressed with that win, but we move on. The positive is, look at that performance from Christian Gonzalez. A hat trick of picks, getting more than he got in the regular season in the win. But the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL meeting in the divisional round, that is primetime television. We have the better roster over Cincinnati, but what Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins are doing over there, very concerning. And our defense, Christian Gonzalez in particular, is going to have to play the game of his life. You know what the battle of the MVP and the runner-up needs in the playoffs? Snow. Gronk is up there, hyping the crowd up. We're going to need a Gronk smash in this battle of MVPs. 2 prolific passing attacks. How are they going to endure the conditions here? Which he can make the adjustment to run the football. I mean, Cincinnati has a Canadian running back. He is born to play well in the snow. Look at this, man. Hot start. I'd love to come in on a 3rd down here. Up 14. You figure points on this drive. We got a 3rd and 10 just inside Bengals territory. Scary Terry. Darnell Washington, go to the running back right there at the backfield. Oh, break a couple ankles. And TreVeyon Henderson, look at that, almost 300 yards passing for Drake Maye. A touchdown on the day. And we got a third down. Absolutely will help you on this drive. 3rd and 2 on the 5. Darnell Washington, 6-7. We got Kyle Williams going the other way. Gotta watch the slipping. I bet you slips will happen, but look at that. Get separation. Safe hands. He had 14 touchdowns in the regular season. The breakout year continues for Kyle Williams. Wide receiver out of Washington State. And this is a Patriots team that will not be denied in the battle of the MVPs. We conceded that, yeah, Joe Burrow had a better year. But let him have the MVP. We'll have the AFC Championship game. That is truly a bizarre Super Bowl on the line AFC Championship matchup. Year 3 of a rebuild. The Browns and Patriots. Look at us. It's that look at us meme. Who thought we'd be here? We got a very good performance here from Drake Maye, getting rewarded as such, even though he was sacked 5 times by Shamar Stewart. Still played his absolute mind out. I was curious going into this matchup, thinking Myles Garrett, Mason Graham, they're going to have abilities. Like, what's our rookie's depth traits? Haven't even looked. And Benford, while defensive rookie of the year, and the boost up to an 88, only a star dev. We still don't know Overton's dev trait. We still don't know Long's dev trait. But the good news is that our streak of drafting absolute stud after stud after stud continues. Westerman the guard out of Notre Dame, a 90 superstar. Alrighty. Oh. Smashing the guitars. Okay. Another snow game. We're proven in this scenario. Now, while I'm not in love with the appearance of the challenge, if I can get to a Super Bowl here in year 3 of a rebuild, where usually rebuilds take us to year 4, year 5. But this is, you know, the Browns are standing in our way of going to a Super Bowl. I would like to think our Patriots team is, at worst, just further along and a more complete team than the Browns were able to get in that 3-year time frame. But here we go. I think we just killed the clock off. We got 40 seconds. It's ugly. But that Patriot defense, with the injection of a defensive rookie of the year caliber pass rush, has got so much better, so much more clinical, so much more reliable than where it was a season ago. And we got Drake Maye playing the best football of his career. He's the best quarterback remaining in the playoffs. And that, with a defense that is shutting down opposing teams' quarterback. Maybe we lucked out that we got back-to-back snow games. But in year 3, the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. I didn't plan this. It would have been so incredibly lame with how I kind of, you know, I personally shared what the Patriots mean to me. And I had just, the Eagles conveniently make the Super Bowl against us. This was as organic as you can get. We got an Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl matchup. That's the rivalry. That's the matchup that got me into football. My brother being a Patriots fan, I became an Eagles fan. And, you know, some of the best games that I've got to enjoy with my older brother were watching these two teams play off. And in a rebuild that I decided to do the Patriots, you know, in part to, you know, I think he might appreciate something like this when he's going through his treatment. It's kind of creepy. But let's go, man. Super Bowl, Eagles, Patriots, round 3. Drake Maye, Jalen Hurts, Eagles, Patriots, Super Bowl. Good luck. May the best team win. All right, Philly strike first. I mean, hey, you're not going to need me to gas up the Eagles. We know. We know what we're going up against. It's not a hot start. Our defense, nowhere to be found. But we're going to claw our way back. It is a team of destiny. 3rd down and 10 will come in. Throw a little stunt, try to get them and then stall out. Field goal. That's exactly what we got. Spillane eats that one up. Jalen Hurts has been on fire today. 320 yards. Devontae Smith is going off. Come on. 4th down, sure. 4th and 2. Do not run. Do not think in this game that is a run the football situation. That is a go for it every day of the week situation. Let's go. Double clutched it. Don't matter. We get it to Kyle Williams and get it where it needs to go. In it to the red zone. 3rd and 5. And I almost feel like this is where, like, let's chew the clock here a little bit. Let's go scary. Terry McLaurin has had a hell of a career against the Eagles. Darius tie with the Commanders. But it is now a 1-point lead. And we got a 3rd and 7 coming up. Okay. Come on. He fumbled it! That's not even Jalen Hurts! Come on. This will be the only time in recorded history I'm going to go against my Eagles. Come on. There we go. We get to Darnell Washington into Eagles territory. We got all of our timeouts. I've not felt this much pressure in a very long time in a video game. I mean, we're good. Actually, at that point, that's a good play to get the clock going. Let's control the clock. Maybe a little too much roll. It ran off there. By this point, if it does have to come down to a field goal, let's see it. We got a chance here for the end zone. Still have a timeout in case we don't get there. I'm absolutely not going to run this. We got to at least attempt deep slot curl. I love going to the tight end on this play. He's such a mismatch. They got the double safeties there in the middle. Oh, let's win it the old-fashioned way. Okay. Got a very good kicker. There you go. Damn, you got me again is what I would say. Let's go. We locked in. We were aggressive getting Scary Terry. How we drafted certainly picked the pace up on this rebuild. And in year 3, the New England Patriots are Super Bowl champions. Drake Maye has led these guys to a Super Bowl championship. Let's go, Vrabel. And then Rob, if you're watching, man, there you go. I had to give you one. So as we like to do in all of our rebuilds, I love recapping and seeing where our players are at statistically through the years that we were able to rebuild. And as it stands, Drake Maye is at 14,000 yards passing, 129 touchdowns to 33 picks. So that's very good pace, especially with how he played this year. Sky's the limit. The numbers there for the running back, Drake Maye, as a dual threat. Receiving, we got Scary Terry over that 10K yard mark. 71 touchdowns for him. Everyone else was starting to play really good football across the board. We have, from a pass rush standpoint, Harold Landry, 92.5 sacks, 45.5 Milton Williams, 25 from Braden Swinson, 14.5 from Benford. His rookie campaign, absolute dog. 18 picks Davis. We got 11 from Duggar, 9 picks Pepper, 9 picks from Gonzalez. So that will do it for a rebuild that, kind of just say indirectly, became one of my favorite rebuilds I've ever done. Honestly, at the end of the day, I hope you guys did enjoy it as well. Please let me know in the comment section below which team you want to see me rebuild next. I will say, in line with just these regular rebuilds with Madden on PC, it will be sooner than ever that we will have realistic rebuilds drop on the channel where we're using realistic draft classes of college players that you guys want to see what they could potentially do in the NFL. Those will be coming soon. Our main channel franchise mode with the Vegas Raiders will be starting any day now. So I'm very excited to get into that. You're definitely not going to want to miss episode number 1. If it is your first time stopping by and you haven't hit that subscribe button, we are trying to see maybe just the outside realm of possibility. Can we get 200,000 subscribers this cycle? College Football 26, Madden 26, that would be so crazy if we are able to do so. So if it is your first time stopping by and you like what you see, why not? If you want to help out the channel, all I look for is just, comment for the algo, hit the like button if you did enjoy this video, and until next time, it's your boy C4, saying peace out, love ya, have a good one.